Our next guest's oldest son was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. Please help us welcome Diana Cruz.
Hello there. How are you doing? You made it, huh?
Can't see. There's full quantity of it. She's literally 9 months pregnant, so
yes.
We're hoping not to have another show.
Another guest host.
Right.
Yes.
However, so your son was diagnosed at the age of 2. So how did you know that he was autistic before he was diagnosed?
I actually didn't. His actually things that he was doing in the house brought, came to my attention. The water running, microwave going. He was real sensitive to hearing. So he would constantly put his hands over his ears, and that made me bring it up to his doctor. Every time the microwave's going, he comes and stands in front of it and covers his ears. Or the water was running, real sensitive to things. He didn't like the noise like that. So the doctor actually asked me a few other things. Does a lot with his hands? Does he do a lot of motions? Using more hands other than his words? And we went through a few places. We went actually, like you said, don't always jump to autism. It may be something else. We took another step and it actually was autism. So his doctor actually seen it before we did. We just noticed certain things that he was doing.
So how did it affect you when the doctor first said your son is autistic? What was the feeling that came over you?
Well, it was a pretty shaky feeling. You're in the air. You don't know how to take. Being a brand new mom, I didn't know what to take as autism. What is autism? You have to learn it. You have to research. You have to figure out how do you help, a child in that stage grow and understand certain things. So it was a real shaky, nervousy feeling, but you overcome it once you start working with your child. You don't look at your child as any different than the average child. So
what is it that the children have to go through to get diagnosed with autism?
Well, I'm not sure what all children go through, but my son, we went through a step birth to 3 through Penfield. They did a program with Penfield Children's Center. They have a birth to 3 program for children who have special needs. And once we did that, we did the WEEK Wisconsin Early Autism Project. They also as well came out, and it's just like, you pretty much grow with your child at that time, learning everything and pretty much teaching that child the ropes and going through the measures of certain, like she said, there's certain levels of autism. So my child was diagnosed at a very low, mild stage of autism where he just was, per se, they say speech and behavioral. So that was like a 25% delay in his speech and behavioral, so it does.
So what types of things are you guys working with him, like methods of learning are you using for him? Like when we were talking about the movie, they had the cards and all that.
Well, being that he does have a 2-year-old sister and she's perfectly fine, we pretty much treat them the same. We don't go any different with him. We talk to him like we would her. He, grab that, pick that up, or turn off the light. And usually being that she's like a little teacher. Her being younger, she'll go and understand what we're saying and turn off the light, and he follows right behind. So if that's his little teacher, and where we pretty much do everything like normal, like I say, we don't really take that extra turn or look at it any different because they are average children.
So how old is he?
He's 3 now. He's 3.
So is he in school, or do they have a school for children?
He actually, once he graduated the Birth to 3 program for Penfield, he started school the next week. And this is a regular MPS school. He goes to Burbank Elementary. So he's, he like I said, he doesn't get looked at any different. He started school at 3 to help him out, just like a pretty much head start for him. And he's still in there and he's doing good. So
does he have an aide or anything like that, or is he?
No, he's pretty much by himself.
So he knows how it was easy for him, or did he learn his ABCs, his numbers?
Well, like I say, he has a 25% delay in his speech.
Okay.
So at the moment, he's still working on his speech. A lot of things he says, but it won't be as clear as a regular child. Like you'll hear my daughter speaking, and then you hear my son speaking, and it sounds like he may be the 2-year-old and she, so, but it's still coming together. Like I said, he doesn't speak full sentences, but he knows and understands what to and what not to do as far as certain things are taken.
What's his method of learning? Like he learned what
His is more you show him action, him visualizing it. You know, he does do the pictures and the cards, and you know, if he sees a blue light or something and we consistently say it, you know, he'll catch on to it. But his is more, the cable man will come over and try to hook up cable, and then he's right behind him doing the same thing. And he's like, I know how to do this, you know, I know how to unscrew this, because he's seen it already. So once he sees it, he's got it in there. You gotta watch it. He's 3, he can get out the front door, he can pretty much, he watches you and he learns. He's a quick learner.
What would you say to a mother that just found out that her child was diagnosed with autism?
I mean, it's a struggle and it's a battle, but it's a battle worth taking. I mean, you know, like I said, you don't look at your child any different. You treat them as any other child, and you grow with your child. You learn new things. It's not something that you automatically don't know that he has autism or he has Down syndrome and this is how we're going to treat it. Right. You grow with that. You know, you learn how to maintain it and how to basically. So I mean, stay in there.
So what is the body enhancement evaluation test? What is that?
That pretty much is like, it's like a motor skills test to me. Like they evaluated my son on that, and it was pretty much that he's 2 years old now. What does he do as far as running and walking? Like, is he up there and stuff like that? So they evaluate him on every little thing, hand movements, speaking, like I said, climbing and jumping. So they pretty much evaluate you on every part of your body activities, just to see where in that level are you. So that's how they pretty much come up with also the delay or anything.
So do you think he'll be successful in life, and how will you help him become successful?
Oh, I believe he'll be very successful. He's a nickname for him. His cousin gave him, is her little engineer, because he will take apart something in a minute, and he's 3, so it's just getting him to put it back together. So he will take it apart and bring it to you, but then he's stuck at it. But, you know, it's pretty much getting the putting together part there. So I mean, you know, like I say, it's a battle, but we work through it all, so it really comes together.
So how does he act when you discipline him?
To him, okay, he has like many ways of showing it. You know, if you discipline him and he thought what he did was funny, even though you're up to here like really mad and you're showing a frustrated face, sometimes he'll laugh. Or, you know, sometimes he kind of just brushes it off, but then he knows what he did, and he won't go back and do it again. It's like a regular child. They'll test you. They'll go back and touch something that they weren't supposed to, but they do come together after a while. He might tantrum and throw out on the floor, but that's every average child at a 2 or 3 year old age, so that's something you expect.
How do you think he deals with other kids in school? Since you said he's in a normal school, how do the kids take him?
To me, they pretty much all come together as one, but he kind of likes to stay more to himself. You know, if he's interested in cars and trains and trucks, and if that's what he has in front of him and everybody's out playing kickball, he's fine. He's like, I'm okay. But then he will get into he does include himself and does play with the other kids. So like I say, it's like a normal average child that just gets in there when he wants, and when he doesn't, he just backs away like that.
Okay, well, Diana, thank you for sharing your story with us. You guys don't go anywhere.